There is a moment when faith and fear collide, when the command defies the physics of your reality, when the storm feels louder than the voice. Peter stood in that moment. One step changed everything. This is what happens when you look down. The disciples, out on the water, and the night is swallowing them whole. What could be lost? Their lives, bodies dashed against the hull, breath stolen by the deep. You know their names. You've sung their stories. But right now they are not saints in stained glass. They are men with blistered hands, salt-cracked lips, hearts hammering against ribs like fists on a locked door. And you, have you ever rowed toward nothing? Have you ever strained every muscle just to stay in place? What happens when obedience feels like a death sentence? Below sea level, 700 feet beneath the world's breath, the lake sits in a pit, a wound in the earth's skin. Hills rise like clenched fists around it. Wind funnels down through the gorges. No warning, no mercy. One moment, stillness. The next, a roar that cracks the spine of the sky. This is not open ocean. No horizon to flee toward. No shore in sight. Just walls of rock and a bowl of black water, sloshing like a cup in a giant's hand. Glass, then grave. That's how fast it turns. Fishermen learn this young. Learn to read the hush before the storm. Learn the way the air thickens, how the gulls vanish inland. Learn the sound, the low moan of wind building in the ravines, like a beast drawing breath. They know the water here doesn't just rise. It boils. It heaves. It swallows boats whole and leaves no foam. The fourth watch, between 3 and 6, the hour when dreams turn to nightmares, when the body begs for sleep, but the mind won't shut down, when the dark isn't just absence of light, it's a presence, cold, wet, pressing against the eyes. They've been rowing since dusk, hours, arms trembling, backs knotted, oars biting into waves that slap back like fists. No progress. The wind owns them now. It owns the boat. It owns the night. They are soaked. Not just to the skin, through it. Water in the lungs from spray, in the hair, in the creases of their palms. Their breath comes in gasps. Not prayer, not song, just animal need. And doubt, quiet, gnawing. Why did he send us? Why stay behind? Why leave us here to drown? Then, movement. On the water, not in it, on it. A shape, upright, walking, not floating, not drifting, striding across the churn like it's dry land. The wind howls, the waves claw, and the figure comes, unhurried, unbent. They scream, not in awe, in terror. The Greek word, phantasma, rips from their throats. A ghost, a dead thing walking, something that should not be. Their voices crack, lost in the gale. This is no vision, no dream. This is flesh and fear and freezing spray. This is the moment the world stops making sense. No peace here, no calm, only the raw edge of survival, the scrape of wood on wave, the burn in the shoulders, the taste of salt and blood on the tongue. This is not a sermon on water. This is horror, real, visceral, the kind that leaves your nails broken and your breath ragged. No one sees rescue coming, not here, not now. The hills don't answer, the sky doesn't part. The boat is a speck. The night is endless, and the figure keeps coming across the impossible. The drop, sheer, a breath caught in stone. Below, the water swallows light whole. No shimmer, no reflection, only depth without measure. Wind claws at the cliff's edge, whistling through cracks like a warning. Salt hangs in the air, thick as memory. Not the sea of trade routes or tides. This is the old dark, the deep that remembers before names, before dry land, before breath. To know Peter's tremor, you must feel the stories in his bones, not taught, inherited, passed down in the hush of tents and the Father's voice at dusk. The sea, yam, not water, not waves, a living thing, coiled, hungry, the place where order ends and the world unravels. In the beginning, it was all there was, a writhing void, and God spoke, not gently, not calmly. He rebuked it, drew a line, set the dry ground like a throne above the flood. Job 9:8, a verse carved into the night. He alone stretches out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea, not walks, treads. As a king treads on rebellion, as a conqueror crushes the neck of a serpent. The image is not gentle. It is dominion, absolute. The sea does not obey. It is subdued, and only one foot may press upon its back. No mortal, no prophet, no priest, only Yahweh. To stand on the sea is to claim the throne of creation. To defy the natural is one thing. To defy the sacred order, that is blasphemy or revelation. No middle ground, no compromise. The disciples did not fear drowning alone. They feared what drowning meant. To be taken by the deep was to be unmade, to return to the formless, to be erased from the story of the saved. They had heard the tales of Leviathan, of Rahab, of the dragon beneath the foam, chained but not dead, of Baal who fought the sea and failed, of Molech's fires where children were offered not to save lives, but to appease the hunger beneath the waves. The sea demanded blood, always. And Israel remembered crossing on dry ground while the water stood like walls, trembling. Remembered Pharaoh's chariots sucked down like stones in a throat. The sea was not neutral. It was an enemy, held at bay by a word. And now, this figure, on the water, not struggling, not balancing, striding, calm, unmoved by the wind's rage. The disciples' throats tighten, not with awe, with recognition, a horror deeper than storm. This is not a man. Men do not walk on chaos. Men do not command the abyss. If this is flesh, then flesh has become divine. If this is real, then everything they know, the law, the temple, the very ground beneath their feet, is trembling. Peter feels it in his chest, a pressure, not from the wind, from the weight of understanding. If this is him, then the veil is torn. Not in the temple, here, on the lake. The holy is no longer confined to smoke and stone. It walks on water. And if it walks, it calls. And if it calls, you must answer, or be damned by silence. The boat rocks, wood groans, oars lie useless. The only motion is the heave of the deep. And Peter, his fingers dig into the gunwale, splinters bite, his breath comes short, not from exhaustion, from the impossibility pressing down. To stay is to deny. To step out is to believe into madness. The water below is not just cold, it is accusation. It is the grave of doubters. It is where gods die and men vanish. But the voice came, clear, through the roar. Come, not a suggestion, a summons, as when Abraham heard and left his home, as when Moses approached the flame. A word that demands everything. And Peter knows there is no return. Not to the boat, not to safety, not to the life where God stays in the sky and the sea stays in its place. He looks down at the churning black, at the place where light dies, at the face of the deep, unchanged since the first day. And for a breath, he hesitates, not in disbelief, in awe, in terror, in the unbearable weight of being called into the impossible. The moment stretches, thin, fragile. The wind holds still. The waves pause. The world waits. This is the in-between. Not faith, not fear. The space where both tear at the soul, where the body refuses what the spirit sees, where the mind screams, stay, and the heart whispers, go, where the only choice is to fall forward or fall apart. The sea waits, ancient, patient. It has swallowed empires, it has drowned gods. And now it watches a man decide whether to step into the realm of the divine. One foot lifts, not yet over the edge, suspended, trembling. The air thickens, the stars dim. The water below does not reflect. It watches. It knows. This is the weight, not of water, not of wind, of a single truth pressing down like the sky about to fall. If God is here, nothing is safe, and nothing is impossible. Darkness speaks in water now, not silence, never that. A roar, a hiss, the slap of liquid against wood, the creak of ribs strained, and then voice, not thunder, not wind, clear, cutting through the chaos like a blade through smoke. Tharse, ego eimi, me phobu, take courage, I am, do not fear. The words hang, not floating, sinking, piercing the storm. The Greek cuts deeper than the spray. Ego eimi, not just presence, claim, echo of burning bush, of stone tables, of a name too holy to speak, and it lands, not in the ears first, but in the gut, a tremor, a recognition. The air thickens, the wind stutters. Peter, he moves, not slow, not cautious, a surge, a cry ripped from somewhere below breath. Kyrie ac estin prositaxin moi hina eltho pros si epi tashidas. Lord, if it is you, command me to come. On the water, not a plea, a test, sharp, desperate, a man reaching for proof with bleeding fingers. The boat bucks, Salt stings his lips. His knuckles whiten on the rail. The others don't speak. Can't. Their eyes wide. Not at him. At the thing beyond, the figure striding on the heave, untouched by the gale. But Peter, he stares at the face, at the light behind the storm. Then, stillness, not in the wind, in the space between heartbeats. The world holds, water suspended mid-swell, breath caught in throats, the moment before the world splits. Before the line is crossed, no sound but the drip from an oar. The shudder of wet linen, the pulse in the temple, the weight of a single word waiting to fall. It comes. One syllable. Erchu. Come. Not shouted, spoken, as if across a courtyard, as if summoning a child. But it carries, it lands in Peter's bones, not in his ears. A command that reshapes gravity. He swings, one leg, then the other, over the side. The boat lurches, wood groans, spray slaps his cheek, cold, sharp, real. He crouches, barefoot hovers, above the black, above the churn, the water below, no surface, just motion, foam like teeth, and he lowers, one toe, then the arch, then the heel. Sandal meets wave and does not sink. The water, solid, not stone, not ice, but firm, as if the deep had drawn breath and held it. His weight, held, the impossible true. He stands, shaky, knees locked. Wind tears at his robe, but he stands, on water, not floating, not falling, standing. He lifts the other foot, places it forward. Step, another, then another. Each one a defiance, a tearing of the veil. The boat recedes. The disciples, frozen, mouths open, no sound. Peter walks, not on calm, on chaos, on the heave, on the roar. The wind screams, spray blinds, salt crusts his lashes, but he moves, eyes locked ahead, on the face in the storm. Faith, tangible, a thread spun from breath and belief, holding. Then a shift, not in the water, in him, a flicker, a glance, down, just once, at the foam, at the churning, at the animos, the wind, howling like a pack. He sees it now. The physics, the cold, the depth, the sheer impossibility. The water, no longer ground, just liquid, violent, hungry. His breath hitches. The thread snaps, fear floods in. Not slow, a wave, a collapse. His foot slips, not on stone, on nothing. He sinks. One moment above, the next below. The water that bore him now drags, swallows. Cold claws up his legs, his chest, his throat. He gasps, salt floods his mouth. The boat, distant. The figure, blurred. The wind, deafening. And from his core, a cry. Not long, not poetic, raw. Kyrie, sosen me. Lord, save me. A hand, outstretched, not reaching. Already there, fingers close around his wrist, iron, warm, unyielding, pulled, not up, out, as if from a dream, as if from death. The water releases. He hangs, dripping, shaking, held, Not by wood, not by rope, by flesh, by grip, by presence. The storm still rages, the waves still claw, but he is out, on the surface, not walking, held, and the voice, close now, not loud, sharp. Oligopistos, hina idisthis, you of little faith. Why did you doubt? The words cut, not cruelty, precision. A surgeon's blade, exposing the wound. The moment the eyes left the face, the moment belief bowed to wind, the moment the mind overruled the soul, the rebuke stings. But the hand does not let go. They stand on water, both of them. The wind still howls, the waves still rise, but the boat draws near. Oars dip, slow, hesitant. The others stare, not at the water, at the two figures, unmoved, at the hand still gripping Peter's arm, at the face, calm, unshaken. The storm does not cease, but it no longer matters. The deep has been defied, the impossible walked, the cry heard, the hand reached, and the boat draws close, not to rescue, to witness, to carry the weight of what has been seen, what has been done, what has been said, and the water still churns, but beneath their feet, solid, not by strength, not by will, by word, by name, by I am. We must look at what this story signifies beyond the miracle. Not just a man walking on waves, not just a storm stilled, something deeper, older, a pattern carved into the bones of time, a shadow cast forward from the cross. The boat, wooden ribs, tar-stained seams, a known world. The place where prayers are set in order, where rituals hold, where the faithful gather and the wind stays outside. It is the temple of routine, the ark of habit, the shelter built by hands that fear the deep. To be in it is to be counted, safe, seen, but it rocks, always rocking, not peace, only the illusion of it. The water, not blue, not calm, black, churning, salt-scoured, endless. It does not obey. It does not listen. It answers to no law, no prayer, no plea. It is the world unruled, the chaos before breath, the void where effort drowns. You can row, you can strain, you can bleed your palms on the oars, but the current does not care, the tide does not yield. This is what salvation by will looks like. A man gasping, legs kicking, going nowhere. Down, Peter sinking. One moment, footing, the next, nothing. The water swallows, not slowly, all at once. His robe pulls him under, his breath is gone, his eyes burn with salt and panic. This is not failure of faith in who Jesus is. It is the collapse of trust in where he stands. The moment the wind roared louder than the voice, the moment the eyes left the face, the body remembers it cannot walk on liquid, and so it obeys the law. It sinks, as all men sink, as all men must, the hand of Jesus. Not stretched, not straining, already there, fingers closing, not around a wrist, around existence itself. This is the image, the one that matters, not the walking, not the water, the reach, the grip, the flesh that pulls from the abyss. This is not rescue from a storm. This is rescue from the end. Just as he reached out to save Peter from drowning, he reaches into the grave, into the sealed dark, into the place where breath stops and hope rots. The tomb is deeper than the sea, colder, more final, but the hand goes in, not to pull out a drowning man, but a dead one, and it does not fail. This foreshadows the cross, where Jesus enters the ultimate chaos of death, not above it, not beside it, into it. The waves close over his head. The weight of the world's sin presses down. The sky turns black. The earth quakes. He does not walk on top. He is buried beneath. The storm is not outside him. It is in his bones, in his blood, in the cry that tears from his throat. On the cross, Jesus does not walk above the water. He is submerged in it. The judgment, the wrath, the curse, all of it crashes over him. The nails hold him down. The spear opens him. The darkness covers him. He does not resist. He receives. He drinks the cup. He becomes the drowned one, so that no one else must. He allows the waves of judgment to crash over him, so we do not have to drown. The water that should have taken Peter takes him instead. The breath that failed in Peter's lungs is breathed out by Christ with a shout. The hand that pulled one man from the sea now pulls all men from the tomb. Not by strength, by surrender. The little faith is not a failure of belief in existence, but a failure to trust in presence. Peter knew Jesus was real. He had seen the miracles. He had heard the words. But when the wind screamed, he forgot the voice. He looked at the storm, not the face. We do the same. We believe God exists. But do we believe he is here, now? In the dark? In the cough? In the silence after the diagnosis? That is the test. When they climb back into the boat, the wind ceases. Not because the storm is gone, because the Lord is in the vessel. The waves still roll, but they no longer rule. The peace is not in the weather. It is in the presence. The stillness is not outside. It is within. The boat moves, but it is no longer at the mercy of the deep. This points to the peace that comes after the rescue, the stillness of salvation, not the absence of trouble, the presence of the rescuer. The breath returns. The hands unclench. The eyes close, not because the danger passed, because the hand still holds. The disciples worship. Truly, you are the Son of God. The confession completes the arc. Not a theory, not a doctrine, a cry, a fall to the knees, a forehead meeting wood. They do not speak of miracles, of physics defied, of wind obeying. They see the hand, they see the face, they see the one who walks into death and pulls life from its jaws. And they bow, as all must, as all will. The sun breaks, golden, blinding, a path of light across the water, not just on the sea, on the cross. The same light, the same fire, the same I am. We drift from salt and spray, from the heave of deep water, from the cry caught in the throat, to sand, warm, still, grain by grain settling beneath bare feet. The trees rise, tall, silent, pillars holding up a canopy of green gold light. Sun spills through leaves, not in beams, in breaths, soft pulses, flickering across the forest floor like the flutter of a resting pulse. Where are your eyes fixed today? Not yesterday's storm, not tomorrow's gale. Now, this moment, the air cool on your cheek, the hush between bird calls, the distant rustle of something moving through underbrush, a deer, a breeze. You don't need to know. You only need to be here. Your boat. It isn't wood. Not exactly. It's the rhythm of your mornings, the same cup, the same chair, the same screen, glowing before dawn. It's the job you carry like a stone, the role you wear like a coat too tight at the shoulders. It's safe, familiar, but it rocks, always rocking. Even when the water seems calm, the waves, they come anyway. A diagnosis whispered in a hallway, a silence where a voice used to be, a bill too high, a child's fear in the dark, the weight of decisions unmade. They rise, not always with thunder, sometimes with a slow creep. Water at the door, then at the knees, then in the lungs, the drift. It's quiet, a slow turn, like a leaf spinning on still water. You don't feel it at first. One day you realize your prayers are lists, your thoughts, calculations. You measure the wind, count the waves, weigh the odds. And somewhere in the accounting, the face fades. Not gone, just blurred, like a reflection in rippling water. You begin to audit your problems more than you adore your Savior. The numbers on the screen, the ache in the back, the loneliness in the laughter. They grow loud, he grows distant. Not because he moved, because your gaze dropped. To the foam, to the spray, to the chaos at the surface. He never asks you to ignore the wind, never says, pretend it isn't howling. He stands in it, feet planted, robe flaring, eyes steady. And he says, come, not fix it first, not wait until it's calm. Just come, step out, into the gust, into the spray, into the unknown, with your eyes on his. Sinking is not the end of the story. The hand is. That grip, warm, unshaken, not waiting for you to rise, already reaching, already holding, even before the cry leaves your lips, even in the silence between breaths. Even if your faith is small, just a spark in the dark, his strength is not measured by your courage. The hand is strong, strong enough to hold the world, strong enough to hold you, dripping, shaking, speechless, held. Now, breathe. Let the forest take you, the dappled light, the scent of moss and damp earth, the soft crush of pine needles underfoot. No need to speak, no need to move. Just be here in this quiet. The invitation remains, not loud, not urgent, gentle, like sunlight on closed eyelids. Come, rest, lay down the oars, stop rowing against the current. Let the water carry you to shore. Feel the weight leave your shoulders, the clench in your jaw, the tightness across your chest. Unfold, like a hand opening after holding a stone too long. And if sleep comes, let it, not as escape, but as surrender, as trust, as the body remembering what the mind forgets. You are not alone on the water. The trees stand, the light shifts, the wind stirs the leaves just slightly. a whisper, a lullaby. Close your eyes. Look up. The screen fades, not to nothing, to dark, soft, like the space between stars, like the hush before a name is spoken. Trust.